Okay, so as you know, I always have a child with me, or both of them. So today we have Camille with us. This is my baby. So he's going to be joining us today. So hopefully that's okay with you. Anyway, let's get into it. In 2022, okay, I think that we as black people, we just want more, right? I think we understand that there are very real reasons on why our communities do not have the things that they should have. Why we don't have proper health care, why we don't have fair education, why our businesses are not all around our own communities. Um, just so on and so on. There's so many issues that we have in the black community, and there are very real reasons on why they exist, right? But in 2022, I think a lot of us have said, okay, I know that this is a problem in my community. Shoot, I know this is a problem in my family, and I'm not going to be continuing that. So, I think that's where the whole generational curse, breaking those curses, have come from. Even though I kind of feel like calling it a curse makes it sound like it's something within your family that somebody in your family did, when there's really a whole nother reason on why your family has even perpetuated those issues, if you get what I'm saying. Um, but generational curse, systematic oppression, whatever you want to call it, like I said, I think a lot of us now who are beginning to build our own families are saying, I know that I do not want this to exist, right? So we are really working hard on changing the narrative within our families. So that brings me to what I was thinking about, was generational parenting. How has the way your parents parented influenced how you parent? And how did their parents' parenting influence how they parented and later influenced how you parent? And doesn't it all add up? It does. It does. And so I just want to go through my family and really try to assess this, um, and hopefully sprinkle some inspiration to you to make you think about your family and how your family has parented and what that has done for you. Okay, so I'm gonna start on my mom's side from as high as I can go, which is really my great grandparents, and then bring that all down, and then we're gonna tie that back into how I parent and how I have ingested all of my family generational parenting, and yeah, so we're gonna see how that maps out. Okay. So my grandmother's mom, my maternal great grandmother, I don't know her name per se, but from what I understand, she was a woman who did not play. She was very heavy in the church. Um, and that's kind of all I know. I know that my grandmother actually got kicked out of the church very young. So that tells me that my great grandmother, again, did not play. She was into the church, and nobody's going to come before that, which is very interesting because I think that's how a lot of moms during my great grandmother's time period was. You know what I'm saying? We serve Jesus Christ, the Most High God, point blank, period. And if you're doing anything that goes against that, even if you are my child, you have to go. Um, Very interesting. Very interesting, right? Because I think when we look at parenting now, even the parent doesn't go to church. So it can be that serious for a lot of black families still. But for the most of us, I would say it's not. It's if you're not into Jesus, if you're not reading the Bible every day or whatever, it's not the end of the world. Very interesting. So then we're gonna come on down to my beautiful grandmother. God bless her soul, Martine. Oh, so I have her middle name. My middle name is Martine as well. Um, and whew, Martine was something else, honey. My Grammy teen, that's what I call her. And she was, as far as parenting goes, very in and out. I would say that because she had some troubles going on. I'll let my mom tell her own story on that. But she was not always there. But when she was there, I think she made it very clear that I ain't perfect. I don't have it all. I don't have it all together, but I love you. And I'm trying. I'm trying. It's hard, but I'm trying. I think that was her main message. And it was like, can you love me for that? Can you love me for trying and being here? Because I really do love you. You get what I'm saying? And she was also very cultural. She was very cultural, very much into Yoruba and Ifa, into art, into color, into patterns. Just beautiful. She was just a beautiful lady. She was very funny. She was hilarious. Okay. Silly, 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 silly. And again, just loving. She had all daughters, and her first two grandbabies were girls. So she was a team girl, And I think that's very interesting because I have all boys, and I know she would just love them, and she loved my brother so much. So, I mean, she just loved to see her family growing. I think especially because as her time as a parent raising her girls, she was not always perfect. Um, so that was my grandmother, and for her first two daughters, which is my mom and my mom's older sister, I think that's where she had the most troubles as a parent, because of the issues that she was going through. But she had a chance to have another daughter, and she did, and she really tried her best to be a a present parent, I would say. She tried to give her youngest daughter absolutely everything that she could within the realms of what she had. And that's why, again, I say she was very transparent in the fact that I'm not perfect. I don't have everything, but I love you and I'm trying. And I think that trickles down to the beautiful, so amazing Tasha. Because, yeah, first of all, if y'all know me, you know Tasha. If you love me, you love Tasha. And Tasha is very much a daughter of Martine. Because growing up, my mom was very transparent, very straight to the point, very much like, I love you, but I ain't got it. Okay? I love you, but my answer is still no. You can call me the bitch of the week, but my answer is still no. She was very much a shoulder for us to come and talk to, a very good listener, but if we didn't want to talk, she wasn't gonna beg us to talk. Okay? She would say, "What's wrong?" And we'd be like, "Nothing, nothing." Okay, I'm gonna ask you one more time. If you don't say nothing, I ain't gonna beg you. Okay, so that generational parenting method or tactic of just keeping it honest. I do not have it right now. I am trying right now. I love you, but my answer is no. My mom did not spoil us. She was not spoiled. And I think my grandmother having the experience with her mother that was seemingly pretty estranged, and it seemed like my grandmother really had to get it on her own, considering she was kind of the rebel of the household. That created a very independent, transparent type of energy. And that was brought down to me, point blank, period. And, so just to take another spin, my mom's dad, the beautiful Jerry Brown, God rest his soul. Jerry was also JB. That's what I call him, JB. JB was also a rebel child. Okay, JB did what he wanted to do. Did he get in trouble for it? Absolutely. But he did what he wanted to do up until his last day. And he also was not always there for my mom, right? And so his parenting tactic was from far away. He kind of parented my mom through letters and things like that. And his message was always, I'm not perfect. I don't have it all, but I do love you. And I am trying with what I have, right? Hold on. So back to JB. JB was very, very real, very straight to the point, very authentic. And having parents like that for my mom, she also had to be independent, very young. She had to get it how she lived, very young. And so when it came down to how she parented me and my brothers, it was very independent styled, if that makes sense. I'm not going to beg you to do everything. I'm not going to hold your hand through everything. You know what I mean? Because you can do it. But I still love you. And I think the thing that she did differently was the fact that she was there. I'm here. Okay? I'm not in jail. I'm not somewhere else. You don't know where I am, type of thing. I'm here. I'm present. I'm trying. I'm here every day. And I am going to do for you. I am going to support you. But I'm not going to strong arm you into anything because you're your own person. And I know that you can do it. He's trying to go to sleep. So, excuse that. So, the way she was raised, again, very authentic, very transparent, very hard, very tough. And I think she took that and she made it into a way that was, again, authentic, transparent, but not hard, not tough, not impossible to get through as a parent. And I appreciate that. And I think that has made me a type of person that is authentic, is transparent. Even with Jelani now, if I don't want to do something with him, I let him know now. I don't want to right now, Jelani. I love you. We will play later. But mommy's eating her lunch. Mommy's doing this. Mommy's doing that. But we will. And I'm here. I'm not going anywhere. But I cannot right now. Or, talk to me, Jelani. What's up? And it wasn't that my mom wanted to be our friend, but I think she really just understood the humanity in us, because her parents had to almost deal with her, not so much like parent to child, but person to person, because they weren't always there. So by the time they did get together, of course, it was still respect levels, but by the time she really got back close again with her mom and really back close again with her dad, everybody's grown. So it's kind of just like, what's up? So that's kind of how she carried it with us. Like, I'm your mom. Definitely treat me with respect. But you can talk to me. And I'm going to talk to you. And we're going to always just have an open book type of thing because we're family. Period. And so that's what I try to do with Jelani. Not so much that I'm trying to be like my mom, but again, that's just generational parenting. That's what I learned from her. That's what I appreciated from her. And so that's what I bring to the table in my household. Now let's swing on over to my daddy's side. Everybody knew Jerome, okay? But before I get into that, I also want to go over to his father's side. Starting with my great grandmother, Miss Jessie Darnes, okay, the fashionista. She was so beautiful. God rest her soul as well. She was into real estate. She owned like 3-4 properties. She was one of the greatest fashion designers in Baltimore, Maryland during her time. I mean, I'm talking about everybody's wedding dress, everybody's prom dress, fashion shows, everything. So she was a boss. She enjoyed getting that money, getting that guala, okay? She enjoyed that, and she earned that, okay? So, but when it came to her parenting, she had a daughter, a pair of twins, which was my grandfather and his twin brother, and a younger son. So she had 4 kids. And from what I understand, I haven't heard too many stories about how she was as a mom, but just watching her as an older mom, she was also very upfront. This is what it is. This is what I'm telling you to do. Listen to me. I'm your mother. I know what's best. She had very queen mother energy. And she knew she was the queen of her tribe for sure. So I think when that trickles down, because I don't know too much about my grandfather's father. So I'm just going to kind of stick to what he may have taken from his mom. My grandfather, Justin Kerr, Mr. Too Smooth himself, God rest his soul. I think he definitely took that love for entrepreneurship, business, getting money, owning your own stuff type of thing. He definitely got that from his mama. Now, when it comes to him as a father, I would say, he struggled in them early years. Okay, my dad also has an older brother that my grandfather had from a previous relationship. And my uncle now, he's a great father. He definitely took a lot of his style, love for business, love for money and fashion and all that stuff from my grandfather. But my father, I think, didn't really get to take too many lessons from him until he got older. Because when my dad was a kid, my grandfather wasn't always there. And I think that's something generational wise that my dad was like, okay, well, I'm definitely not doing that. I'm going to be there. So, and that he was. But I think my grandfather also taught him a lot about not wasting your time, not wasting your money, and really just finding value in things. My grandfather, I think, taught him and me, taught a lot of us about value and how to look for value, how to find value, how to appreciate the value. So, yeah, I mean, there's so much more, I'm sure, than my dad could say that he learned about parenting from his father. But just like my mother taking a lot of the experiences that she had with her parents as okay, I'm going to do something a little different. I think that was kind of how my father took that. That's how I take it. Now, my dad's maternal side is where I will start with my great-grandmother, Verna Cozart. The beautiful, oh so sweet, oh so petite Verna, okay? Verna, aka Mama, that's what my dad and my aunt called her. God rest her soul as well. Verna was very, again, petite like me, very small, but she was also very creative, very neat from what I understand. She did not play about keeping a clean, very clean home. And that was her whole path. She was also adopted, very fun fact. So when it came to her parenting, from what I understand, she did not play. Okay? It was very much like, these are my rules. This is how I want to keep my home. Don't play about it. Don't play about it. I love you, but let's not play about it. We're not going to do a whole bunch of extra. Okay? We're going to look the part. We're going to speak the part. Our home is going to look the part. She was just the part. She was that girl. So that's how she raised my grandmother. The oh so cute Ethel Bell. Ethel, which is my Grammy. Okay, I love her. She's my twin. If you know me, again, you know Ethel. Ethel was the only child. Okay, so you can imagine how spoiled Ethel was. She does have a stepbrother, but I mean, she was the only child. So she was also raised in that way to almost be like that as a mom. Let's keep it tight. Let's keep it together. Let's, try our best to get the best of the best. Let's be the best of the best. You can be the best of the best. And really just drilling that in to do the best that you can. There's no reason why you cannot. There's absolutely no excuse as to why you cannot exceed expectations. Which is very beautiful. So when it comes down to how my Grammy parented my dad and my aunt, Um, my grandmother was very involved. She was an extremely involved mama. Okay? Okay, now for people who complain about being tired as a parent, talk to Ethel, okay? Because she's going to let you know that tired is an understatement. Been there and done that. Okay, she went skating with them. She enrolled them in soccer. I think she was the soccer coach at one point, or if she wasn't the coach, she was still out there at the practices. She actually played soccer with them before. They did arts and crafts. They were in all types of different boys and girls clubs activities. You know what I mean? She did whatever she could to keep her children involved in a social aspect. Just all around great mom. Um, After a while, she became a single parent, which is always devastating. So she became a single parent. She had to drive clear cross country from California to Richmond, Virginia, with her kids, with all of their stuff in a car. Can you imagine the parenting experience with that? She had to do that. And she just had so many warrior mama stories where she just had to. You know what I'm saying? Like, it was hard, very, very much like impossible. Like, now with cell phones and all of that, some of the stuff that she went through, a lot of us would be like, nah. This kid, you just not gonna have it. Or we just not going there. It's just not gonna work. No, but she made it work however she could. Is that not amazing? So that's really, I would describe that's how she was as a mom. She was also, I think, very not strict. I don't know. You had to ask my dad and mom, dad or aunt, like if they would call it strict. But I think she was very protective because my dad and my aunt, those were her babies. And like I said, through their younger years, especially when they were living out in California, I mean, she's in the midst of going through a breakup with her husband type of thing. And so her babies were all that she had. She was far away from her parents. She was far away from her friends. I mean, she had friends out there, but, you know, so her family, she's very family based, very kid oriented. That's all she had. So when they moved out to Virginia, she really had to protect them, and she had to make sure that everybody's doing the right thing, everybody's where they're supposed to be, nobody's getting hurt, everybody's safe. And again, you are on the path of exceeding expectations because there's no reason that you can't be great. That's what she learned, and that's what she brought to my dad. So bringing that on down to my dad, who, again, Jerome, Romy Rome, Jupiter Soul Star. If you know me, you know Rome. And my dad was a very involved parent. Very involved. He would come up to the school. People would be like, I saw your dad. Like, my dad was very involved. He would come up to the school. He would, we would have art time. We would have music time. We would do all that type of stuff, right? And we were broke, okay, no lie. So there were a lot of summers that my dad would work at the summer camp so that we can get there for free. He worked at a lot of after school programs. He would teach us to, read some books about our culture, about our history, about math, about music, about film, about photography, whatever. Like real books. And we would have to read a couple of pages and then say, okay, I need a book report. Write me a page, front to back, about your thoughts, what you took from this, blah, blah, blah. My brothers, they didn't really care about those activities. But for me, it was just like, I'm learning so much. I'm going to be so smart. This is so great. It's just feeding my soul. I love it. So he was just so involved. And my dad, he was the one who wanted to have family meetings, okay? Everybody sit down. How's everybody doing? Is there anything on anybody's mind? Anybody going through something? Anybody got any plans coming up? Anybody needs something? What's going on? So he too was very open with the communication piece, very open with the listening piece. very open with the unity piece. Let's all just be together. Let's all do something together. What is everybody doing? Come on, come on, come on. And that was beautiful. And I think he took that again from his mom. I think he took the need for unity from his dad. And just knowing business, I think he also took that from his dad. So, parenting wise, when I think about my family and the generational parenting that has been on my father's side, it's been mostly about time spent together, reaching goals, and really creating something for yourself. That I think those are things that parents on both his mom and his dad's side were really big on. And I think he really brought that to his household and really made that a part of his parenting. When I think about generational parenting for my mom, I think it was a very... The theme of it, I guess, was very independent, very real, very authentic, very down to earth. No judgment zone. We're not here to do any judging, any pointing fingers, because we all clearly have flaws. And just to know that I love you. I might not be the best at saying it. I might not be the best at even necessarily showing it all the time, but I need you to understand and know that I love you and you are my family. And so those elements brought together by Tasha and Jerome to make me as a parent today, I mean, those are a lot of tools. So I'm grateful. I'm really happy because I feel like, I don't want to say I have it all, but I think I really do have a lot of foundational tools brought by generations in my family of just communicating, being together, doing activities, reaching expectations, trying your best, making goals, meeting goals, not judging, keeping it real, keeping an open book, and just really creating a free but yet structural household. Now, my fiance, I think, has a total different generational parenting experience. And so now with us coming together to create a household, there's a lot that we have to talk about. There's a lot of plans we have to talk about. How do we plan to come together as parents and create our own parenting experience? Right? Because as I've talked to you guys, I hope that you can see that each parent has been totally different. And they've had to come together in their own way to create a parenting experience for their household. And even when that did not even create a household, like my mom's childhood experience, it still added value. It still played a part into what type of parent she ended up becoming. So, not even so much that Khalid and I have to decide how we want to parent, not only for how we want to raise these boys, but it's also going to play a great part into how they will parent when they're older and they become parents. So we have a lot of communicating that we need to do. But yeah, that's the video, you guys. I hope that this conversation, even though you don't know the people in my family, I hope it just invites you to think about your family. And especially if you're a mom and you have a partner, or even if you're not with your partner, just think about the generational parenting in your family. Think about their generational parenting in their family and how that plays a part in how you parent, how your child might parent when they get older, because it all adds up. So, happy Black History Month. I'm all about family this Black History Month because we are the history, honey. He's the future. I'm the history at this point. So, stay up, stay black, stay powerful, stay united. Love you guys.